What's up, young world? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And this is called Racism is a Mental Illness That Needs Psych Ward Assistance. Now, don't worry about this right here, what I'm showing you with this young black lady handling her business. I'm gonna come back to that. You'll get the end message. But understand something, man. To look at someone and get emotionally distraught behind the color of their skin is a mental illness. Now, I'm showing you these comments in here too, man, because you see it has absolutely nothing to do with a person's actions that the reason why a racist is racist. They're just racist. They just, it's a delusional mindset to look at somebody with a certain color skin and then start feeling all emotional, these emotional flutterances, going throughout your mind and your soul. Because personally, I have experienced racism from those type of people and other type of people my whole life. But I'm not gonna let it, change my mode, change my goals, change, what I need to do in my life for me and my family, because that has absolutely nothing to do with me. The delusional state of one's mind. That has nothing to do with me. You're not gonna stop my flow at all. Now, this is some good stuff here, man, that I'm finna give y'all, man. First of all, black people. The reason why I didn't make videos about this over and over and over again, man, the time of convincing is over, though. So if you just lost in the sauce, then that's just on you, okay? Now, to understand this all, it don't matter what color you are. To understand this all, you have to go back to the Bible. I don't want to hear that the Bible is a white man's religion, because understand something. Just like those people stole everything else from the culture to lingo, guess what? They also stole your God from you. If it makes any sense to you, they stole your God from you. This is why you have to study to show thyself approved. Everything is in the Bible. All the answers that to every event that go on in his life is in the Bible. Now, me personally, I don't hold nothing against white people, but I'm going to do me as a black person. And I'm not going to let nobody stop that. Now, this is just part one of this message, man. I got something real heavy, because black people, y'all ain't seen nothing. I'm sorry, but y'all ain't seen nothing. The reason why you seen me post the young lady in the beginning, working on the car, because y'all should go check her out, man. She is very knowledgeable about vehicles, engines and all of that, right? So she learned some things, you know what I'm saying, so she can be able to benefit off of it and help her family and, whatever it is, start home business or whatever it may be, right? But I showed that because it was a certain time in his life. You can go, study this stuff and pull it up, This is one of the reasons why, y'all president is trying to erase history from the museums, because all these things, actually, he said it out his mouth. You can Google this, YouTube it, or whatever. He said it out his own mouth that black people was the one who built this nation, okay? Now, again, I'm not, making it seem as if black people are superior, though I will confess they are God's chosen people. Yes, indeed. That's why part two is going to break that down. That's why I said, black people, y'all ain't seen nothing yet. What the Lord is finna do. Now, there's a certain people who are the children of the devil in this world. And there's a certain people who belong to Yahshua, the Most High. Okay? I'll let y'all figure that out. Again, study to show thyself approved. This means go to the Bible, and find the answers that you're looking for. Now, as far as this racist thing, man, I understand. I know who I am. I know who I am in this world. Okay, amongst all these other nations, I know who I am. So I'm not gonna cry about it, and I'm not gonna whine about it. Yes, racism does exist. And I do believe that it's a mental illness, as the world want to call it, you know. But I'm going to break that whole mental illness thing down in part 2, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But I do believe it's a mental illness for one to look at someone's skin and start thinking all type of negative things about them. But in the same instance, you can look at that same type of skin on a different individual and start feeling lustful, feeling sexual. Yeah, something is distorted there within that person's mind. Okay? So that's why the name of this topic is racism is a mental illness. Okay? Because that's what the world calls it. Okay? I go a little bit more into depth about it on part 2. Because in the Bible, there's not one place, one scripture where it talks about mental illness. It only says demons. I'll let you figure that out. But as far as these people, doing these different things, calling people racist names and then going to give, send, and go and, GoFundMe and making all this money. Listen, these is nothing more than tactics of distraction. It's things coming that nobody, whoever not under the shadow of the Almighty, none of y'all is finna be able to take it. None of y'all. So while people being racist and, I have the freedom of speech and this, that, and the third, little do y'all know, it's something coming for y'all too. Y'all not finna escape this too. What you put out there in the universe, it always comes back. It always comes back. Now, this is something that's in the Bible. Pressed down, shaken together, and multiplied. I'll let y'all figure out which scripture that is. But it always comes back to you. You never escape this life with doing negativity. I don't care who you think you is. So remember I told you, I showed you that picture of the young lady in the beginning, showing her skills as far as, her automotive skills, right? There was a time and place where black people thrived. They thrived. Do your homework on what Central Park was before they demolished it and made it Central Park, okay? Black people had hospitals. They had schools. They had baseball leagues, okay? But the thing about it, it was one culture who was seeing that those black people was thriving too much without their help. So they began to plot and flood and demolish and take away from the black people so they have to be integrated back in with that society. See, all the races don't know these things. They just think that, black people is this and black people is that. And, to each his own. You know what I mean? Even if you is wrong, you can have that delusional state. Because what's coming is going to give you a rude awakening. Please believe me when I tell you that. Now, I got plenty proof of, comments where it's mostly non-black people being racist on social media. So I don't have to prove nothing. You can use the whole play the victim card and all of that, but it still stands. Ain't no black person just gonna let you have your way with them and make them feel like a victim and not call it out. And then you try to do the Uno reverse card and say, that's racist. He's playing the race card. I done seen it all, man. And if you like me, a black person like me, man, you tired of that. Don't nobody care about that. Don't nobody care about the N-word or none of that. Okay? Stay tuned for part 2 because black people, you don't want to miss this. It's finna get really, really, really hectic out here. And you don't want to miss what they finna get ready to try to do. Stay tuned.